Hello guys, so I'm here with another SDG goal. So it's the third one today, and I actually didn't put two of them today because this third one is quite a large one. I mean, it would finish easier, but yeah, it's a quite bigger one. So I planned to put this third SDG alone in this video. So let's not waste our time. So let's jump into the video and get updated. So this is nothing but ensuring healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Very simple, okay? So it's just ensuring health for everybody, no matter what age they are. Okay, so prior to the outbreak of COVID-19, although not sufficient to meet SDG 3 targets by 2030, improvements have been made in many areas of health, including improving maternal and child health, increasing immunity, and reducing infections. So there are 4 subtopics under this third SDG. So the first one is reproductive, maternal, and child health. Globally, based on data from 2014 to 2020, 83% of births were assisted by skilled health professionals, including paramedics, nurses, and midwives, up from 71% in 2007 to 2013. COVID-19 infection can actually alter profits made by disrupting efficient maternity care and maternity services. So the world has actually made significant progress towards the goal of ending preventable infant mortality. The goal under 5 mortality rate is 38 deaths per 1,000 live births in 2019, up from 76 in 2000 and 2019. So even with that improvement, 5.2 million babies died before reaching their 5th birthday in 2019. Almost half of those deaths, 2.4 million, occur in the first month of life. So, although the overall impact of COVID-19 infection on the survival of children is not yet known, significant disruptions in the continuous arrangement of life-saving interventions may stagnate or reverse this progression. So the proportion of women of reproductive age, that is 15 to 49 years, I would say, who are satisfied with modern contraception and require family planning has stagnated at about 77% from 2015 to 2021, compared to 56% in sub-Saharan Africa and 52% in Oceania, which excludes Australia and New Zealand. So with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, modern methods of satisfying the proportion of women in need of family planning have reduced access to supply chain disorders and family planning services. Fertility goals and family planning needs may change for women of reproductive age. So next is infectious diseases. How it's actually, although the rate of new HIV infections has dropped from 0.48 infections per 1,000 population per adult, that is adult in the sense aged 15 to 49, to 0.37 between 2010 and 2019, it is 8 times higher than the global target of 2020. The largest decline is sub-Saharan Africa, the region with the highest population living with HIV. There are huge disparities in access to HIV prevention, testing and treatment services across regions, countries, and subpopulations within countries. So evidence suggests that COVID-19 has caused significant disruption to HIV services, including testing, initiation of treatment, voluntary medical male circumcision, and pre-eclampsia prophylaxis. So I know if I'm wrong with the pronunciation, I'm sorry, but That's what the information I got. So by 2019, 10 million people will be affected with tuberculosis, that is TB. It may be like, the ratio is 56% of men and 32% of women, 12% of children, and 8.2% of people living with HIV. The first killer of an infectious agent. This tuberculosis is that. So worldwide, the incidence of tuberculosis has dropped from 174 new and recurrent cases per 1 lakh population in 2000 to 130 in 2019. A 25% decline over a 19-year period. That's actually great. And the TB mortality rate among HIV negative populations has dropped by 45% over the same period. Despite the declining load, large gaps in diagnosis and treatment persist. The pace of current progress is not enough to achieve the SDG goal of ending tuberculosis by 2030. So it is actually estimated that less than 1.4 million people will receive the necessary care for tuberculosis in 2020 due to COVID-19 compared with 2019, which is a 21% reduction in treatment. That is what was told in in this report I read by. And let's see whether there are many other updates by 2021. And the next is non-communicable diseases, mental health and environmental risks. Worldwide, 74% of all deaths in 2019 were caused by non-communicable diseases. Let's shortly tell it as NCD. So the probability of death in the 4 major NCDs, that is heart disease, cancer, diabetes or chronic respiratory disease. These are the 4 NCDs. Between these the probability of death in these 4 major NCDs between the age of 30 and 70 decreased from 19.9% in 2010 to 17.8% in 2019. This decline rate is not sufficient to achieve the SDG target. So, the COVID-19 infection underscores the need to pay more attention to NCD interventions because people with the NCD conditions have a higher risk of dying from acute illness and coronavirus. So, in 2019, there was approximately 7 lakh suicide deaths. The global suicide death rate has dropped by 29% from 13.0 deaths per 1 lakh people in 2000 to 9.2 in 2019, that is 2019. So the global death toll due to road traffic injuries fell from 18.1 deaths per 1 lakh population in 2010 to 8.7% in 2019 to 16.7. However, road traffic accidents killed about 1.3 million people worldwide in 2019, of which 75% occurred among boys and men. Despite lower rates of vehicle ownership in low-income countries, the death rate was 3.5 times higher in low-income countries than in high-income countries. Road traffic injuries were the leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds worldwide. Guys, this is very, very important. Road traffic and road accidents are not just so easy. It's so terrible and so pathetic. So it's in our hands, guys. Let's make this happen. Let's be so careful. It's not only, anybody who is ever listening to this, boys or men, whoever is listening to this, no matter what you have, 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler, or a cycle, or you go for a walk, just be careful. That is what I'm here to ask. Okay. So next we have health systems and funding. So immunization is one of the most successful and cost-effective health interventions in the world. Okay. So vaccine coverage among children increased from 72% in 2000 to 85% in 2015 and 2019, with 90.7 million children not receiving essential vaccines in the first year of life. In addition to this, the global coverage of the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, if I'm right with the pronunciation, if not, I'm sorry, which has the potential to the significantly reduce, which has the potential to reduce the pneumonia, has not yet reached 50% coverage. Measles is also a highly contagious one, and by 2019, 71% of the second dose vaccine protection was not sufficient to prevent measles. So improvements in essential health services, as measured by the Global Healthcare Service Coverage Index, increased from a global average of 45 in 2000 to 66 in 2017. Low-income countries have made tremendous progress, mainly driven by interventions for infectious diseases. However, the pace of progress had slowed since 2010, and poorer countries and conflict-affected countries generally lag behind. The progression of COVID-19 epidemic is still being traced. So, health workers are at the front line of the COVID pandemic response. Countries, especially those with limited health workforce, further, are decapacitated with regards to delivery of essential health services. So, that's it, guys, for today. Stay tuned, guys, and let's make sure we also be careful with everything, and we're also aware of everything. Yes, the only reason I put these videos for you guys is just to spread awareness. So I hope everybody got some information within this video. So tomorrow I'll be there with 4th and 5th SDGs. Bye bye.